Hey, hey, hey. Just gonna wait a few minutes to allow people to come in and for Leah to join as well. Okay, Leah, give me 1 second. And I'm going to invite you. Guys, come on in, come on in, come on in. Hey, LaTrinda. LaTrinda, let me know if I'm pronouncing your name correctly. Hey, Leah, can you hear me?
Hey, I can hear you just fine. Can you hear me?
Hey, yes. We got this set up on the first round. That is awesome. That is awesome. So, just gonna give people a couple more minutes to log in.
Absolutely.
Uh-oh. Hey, PGP. How are you? Okay, cool. I pronounced your name correctly. Awesome, awesome. Hey, M-Town. How are you tonight? I think people can share. If you know how to share this live, please share with your friends and have them come on as well. If you joined me last week for my very first interview, wave at me and say hello. Let me know that you were here last week as well. I'm excited about tonight. How was your day, Leah?
It's been crazy. Been all over the place, meeting people, having lunch with new friends, setting up social
I
media
love it.
posts, the usual.
Yeah. I love it. I love it. Just one more minute and see if there's going to be more people come in because I want to respect your time and don't want to keep you here all night. Let me see. Did I say hello to everybody? I did.
Hey, Mark.
Oh, shoot. Let me turn my phone. There we go. So it's not ringing and stuff like that. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get started. Welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. I am super excited to have you here. For those of you who are seeing me for the very first time, my name is LaKitia, and I am your sister coach and also the founder of A Sister's Truth. And here at Sister's Truth, we help women to discover, define, and live their truth from manifesting a courageous life without limits. And so for the month of August, I decided to do a Living Her Truth series where I interview women that I've actually connected with to come on here and share their stories. Because for those of you who have been, hey Gary, for those of you who have been following me for a while, you probably already know that I love a good come-up story. I love a good come-up story. I love to hear how people are able to overcome adversity, their circumstances, to really, truly live in their truth. And so with my coaching practice, I'm all about sharing my testimony because I truly believe, it's my belief that we should share our testimonies because there is somebody else who is going through the same thing or something similar that can pull inspiration and motivation from our experience. And how would they know when a person is at a place of despair, how would they know that there's a light at the end of the tunnel if nobody is sharing their testimony and letting them know that if they just hold on a little bit longer, a little bit harder,
Okay.
on my end. So hopefully you guys got that. But pretty much I was just saying that, I share my testimony, I share my personal experiences with my clients because that's how I create a sisterly bond. Because when you are coaching someone, it's really important that they feel comfortable with you enough to share, some of their deepest, darkest fears so you can actually help them through that. And so the way that I do that is by sharing my testimony. Hey, Ty, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Thank you so much for joining. So, without further ado, I am here with the lovely Leah, and I'm super excited for you guys to hear her story. Hey, Leah, how are you?
I'm doing great. I'm happy to be here.
Yay! Thank you for saying yes to this interview. Thank you so much for saying yes. So, Leah and I met at a networking event.
Mm-hmm.
We showed up to. Do you remember the name
I was at
of
the
the
Brand Lab.
of the event? It was at the Brand Lab.
Mm-hmm. It was their first networking event that they put out.
It was their first. Yeah, yeah. It was their first networking event. So shout out to the Brand Lab. Shout out to Kari for bringing us together. But Leah and I met at that event at the Brand Lab here in Houston, and we just connected. It was like 3 or 4 of us just in this little huddle that was just, talking and connecting. It was like we were just old friends catching up. And then next thing you know, we had lunch, we having, brunch talking, and a friendship is starting to form. Don't you think so, Leah?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I am super excited to have her on tonight so you guys can hear her story. So Leah, please tell us a little bit about you and your brand.
Well, like LaKitia said, my name is Leah Torbert. I am the owner of Harrington Strategic Partners. And at Harrington, what I do is I work with small business owners directly. I help them build out their strategic plans. I help them develop processes, get everything streamlined in their business, automate what we can so that all of the back office operations and lead management and all the stuff that goes into managing the business every day is actually taken care of in as little time as possible so you can get out there and grow your business, because you're not making money if you're sitting in front of your computer typing out an email or researching something. You're making money when you're out there getting in front of people and building your own brand and letting people know that you're out there. So that's, my passion is helping people, and the way that I do that is by building the businesses.
Awesome. And someone in the comments said that you're pretty cool and you have a really good heart. I agree with that, PJ. I agree. Which is one of the reasons why I have her here tonight to interview and to speak to you guys. So here at A Sister's Truth, we 100% believe in self-awareness, and that self-awareness is the key to really, truly living a purpose-driven life. And there are 3 phases that we all must journey through. And these are not phases that I just pull out of the air. These are phases that I pull from my personal experience, and that's discover, define, and live your truth. And on tonight, we're focusing on living your truth, i.e., living her truth interview series. And so we define living your truth as having the courage to accept and embrace all aspects of who you are and present that person to the world. Now, in theory, that sounds really, really simple, but you will be surprised how many people, right, struggle with just being who they are authentically and presenting that person to the world, and the reason why we struggle with that is because, we don't want to be judged, right? We don't want to be judged. We don't want to be talked about and things like that. So people seem to think that it's easy to just put on a facade and fit right in. But, truth be told, that's probably the hardest thing to do. It's easier to just be who you are and just living your truth. So with that being said, Leah, tell us a little bit about your journey to living in your truth.
Well, I can tell you it's been a long road. Figuring out what I wanted to do with my life, and just finding the courage to actually get out on my own. I've wanted to own my own business for as long as I can remember. What it might have been has changed over the years as my career has changed and my experiences have changed. I'd say probably one of the defining moments to where I actually started getting the courage to believe in myself and get out there. I joined a group called the International Association of Administrative Professionals. Back in the day, I did office management, and that group actually had a local chapter over in Greenspoint. And I met some really awesome ladies there, started building a mentoring network, and I was looking to them to help me grow in my career and, kind of figure out who I wanted to be. And they kind of turned it around on me. They're like, wow, you're so smart, and you know all this stuff about technology, and we don't have any idea what we're doing. And I eventually got roped into being the newsletter chair, and I did that for a couple of years. And then they elected me as vice president, and then I became president of the chapter. And that was really the start of my leadership and development, and really understanding that I had something valuable to offer people outside of just what I did at the office. And the year that I was elected president, they actually, at the international level, decided that they were going to get rid of all of the local chapters. So I quickly had to change, what my focus as a leader was, from growing the organization to actually helping people go through the grieving stages, because all of a sudden this organization that we put all of our hearts into, some of these ladies had been with them for 30 years, and all of a sudden it's gone. So that was it was a very stressful, but also a very valuable lesson and experience to be able to go through. And at that point, I learned that, whatever it was that got thrown at me, obviously I wasn't expecting to have to do that, but it really helped me grow and become more confident in my abilities. And right around that same time, I started having some issues at home. I ended up going through a separation and then a divorce. It just kind of hit me all at the same time. I got a promotion at work. Ended up having I got this huge project where, I was going to be implementing this big ERP system, and I had to go through and basically redesign how everybody's jobs worked in the company, and, really change the strategy and the vision of how everybody was going to be working together. So all of this is going on at the same time. And I guess, diamonds are made through pressure, right?
That's what they say. Exactly.
Just pile it on. Just keep going. Eventually something's got to break. And for me, it did, between all the personal things and the stress at work. And, I finally just decided, something has to change. And for me, that change was my, what I was going to be working on, how I was going to be moving forward with my life. All of a sudden I was single again, and my son was getting ready to graduate high school, and all of these other things kind of coalesced to where the timing was just perfect for me. And I decided that I was just going to go out on my own and start living my truth by helping people grow their businesses, using all the knowledge and experience that I've gained in my career and my volunteer experience.
Right. That's awesome. It's funny how it's when our backs is up against the wall, and when we have a whole lot of pressure come down on us, that we really figure out what it is that we are supposed to do. It's like when our backs is up against the wall, that's when we really know that, okay, there's something different that we need to do, because people get in these situations and they think it's the end of the world. Oh my God, what am I gonna do? I can't do this, I can't do that. And it's like that's when you really, find your strength. Right? That's when you really start to build the perseverance that you need to move to that next level, and to have the courage to make the hard decisions, because like you said, diamonds are made, by pressure. The more pressure, you put on it, that's how diamonds are made. So it's like when you are in a situation where it seems like everything is just coming down and piling on you, what you don't want to do is just like retreat in a little ball and sink, woe is me. That's not what you want to do, because this is the time where you need to, okay, what lessons do I need to learn? Like, what is the situation is trying to teach me? Because I truly believe that every situation that we're going through, or that you will go through or grow through, let me say, is building you up for that next level. It's preparing you for that next level. Right. It's setting a foundation for that next level. So I just think that it's amazing how we all have, similar stories, but but different,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just it just makes you stronger in the end. And that's probably one of the reasons why I just absolutely love the come up story. I just love it because that inspires and it encourages me to hear how someone else is able to get through adversity and succeed. So with all that being said, in your opinion, why is it important to live your truth?
You have to be in harmony with who you are. I mean, I lived my life for a very long time trying to fit into a lot of other people's boxes.
Ah,
To be who my partner needed me to be. To be who
God,
my
give us some
boss
hearts
needed me
if you
to
can
be.
relate just to that. I'm sorry, Phil, but give us some hearts if you can relate just to that. Living in
Right?
somebody else's box.
Right. Like, I'm a
Man,
people pleaser by nature. I want, everybody around
yes.
me to feel happy and,
Mm-hmm.
get what they need. And I wasn't taking care of myself. I wasn't,
Mm,
listening to myself. I was working too much.
yeah.
I was giving too much to other people and not really paying
Mm-hmm.
attention to, what I needed. And all of those
Mm-hmm.
things coalescing at one time in my personal life, really, it was just like, okay, I get it. I hear you. I'm gonna take this time and I'm gonna figure this out. And we're gonna find a new box and it's got my name on it. But at the same time, just not limiting yourself, even once you kind of break out from those restrictions, not falling into that false sense of security that, okay, I've got my new blanket,
Mm-hmm.
I'm in a new box, I'm okay here. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you always have to keep challenging yourself. You have to keep asking
Mm-hmm.
yourself, am I doing the right thing for who I am right now? And what my goals are. And the only way you can do that is to be true to who you are and really,
Yeah.
really take the time and think about what's important to you and how you want to put you can't just pretend. It doesn't work.
Yeah.
Eventually, you're going to break down and you have to face it.
Absolutely. Ty says it's hard to not live an authentic life. You have to find your way there and love it.
Right.
Absolutely. 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 And Latrinda says, speak it. Yes. I mean, oh my God, Liv, that was such a good point. I'm glad you bring that up because a lot of us have probably, gone through that when we try to live according to someone else's standards and live in this box that someone has created for us. Even with me, with my journey, for those of you who don't know my story, just to give you a brief synopsis of it, I was sexually abused by my stepfather for 8 years. And so when I decided to discover my truth, find out who LaKitia is, because when you go through 8 years of any type of abuse, it don't even have to be sexual. When you go through 8 years of any type of abuse, you completely lose who you are and you become somebody completely different. And and I grew up in the projects outside of Chicago, and I'm the oldest. I have like 14 sisters and brothers. I'm the oldest. So I was the first one to graduate high school, to go to college, to go to law school, to get a master's degree, to become an author. So I'm the first one in my family to do all these things. And so in the beginning, I was doing it for my brothers and sisters because I wanted to be an example of success. So that's what was driving me, Now, I'm not going to say that was completely wrong because it got me out of the hood, but that will only get me so far. It wasn't until I decided that I need to find out who is LaKitia. And in order to do that, I needed to heal from the sexual abuse. I needed to heal from that. And so that's why with my coaching practice, it's all about self-awareness. Because once I became more self-aware of who I was and fell in love with LaKitia, that's when the true success started to happen. That's when the true success started to happen. And so along that path, I had to, upset some people because, there were people who were, invested in me becoming an attorney, and at the end I decided that's not the path that I'm supposed to go down. That was a season, that was a temporary dream and goal that I had, in order to get me to a place where I can, move to the next level of my life and truly live the purpose-driven life that was specifically designed for me. So that's why it's so important. So I'm so glad that you had the courage to admit, that you was a people pleaser and things like that, because there's so many of us who struggle with that. And, I just can't say it enough that being you is the easiest thing that you can do. Being you is the most freeing thing that you can do.
But it's
so I just want to really emphasize that.
Just to, peel away the layers and figure out, okay, who are you when you're not worried about all these other things?
Yes.
Okay. You have to be the particular person at work. Your family expects something from you. Your friends expect something from you. And, you just get used to it. All of these expectations pile on top of you. And then you don't know what you expect out of you anymore. So I think that's the hardest part, is just having that conversation with yourself. And it's like, well, what is it that I like? Like if I'm myself, and what do I want to do? Is that sitting down and watching anime on Netflix, or am I going to go read, or are you going to go jog at the park? Like, what makes you happy? And people just don't stop and really have those conversations with themselves. You'll sit for an hour talking to your best friend on the phone about all the problems she's having, and walk her through all of those, but you don't really spend time on yours. So that's, you have to take that time. Self-care.
Yeah. Self-care. Oh my God. Yes. Self-care. Ty is on the line right now. She's a self-care guru. Yes. I know she's like amening right now, because yes, self-care is key. And, and you're right. It's crazy how, you can ask somebody what they like and they have no idea. That's because they don't spend time with themselves. For some reason, some people, they just, they're unable to just be alone. Girl, I would date Keisha all the time. Me and Keisha would go somewhere. Well, we'll go to the movies, out to dinner. We would travel, because I needed to become comfortable with just being me and in my skin. Because if I'm comfortable in my skin, the other people will be comfortable around me.
That's right.
So yeah, so that's so important. That is so important. So Leah, when life happens, how do you pick yourself up and move out of the funk? Because living your truth will put you in the funk sometimes too, because it's not 100% easy. So how do you move past that when life happens? Because Lord knows life happens.
It does
all the time.
So I'll be honest. Sometimes when it gets really bad, I have I have an addiction for things like chocolates and fettuccine Alfredo, and I will hit the comfort food, just for that stopgap. But once I get past the emotionality of the moment, I will journal. I will, just kind of write out how I'm feeling about what happened, and try to look at the situation, whatever it was, as objectively as I can, and understand, where the other people involved were coming from, or try not to internalize everything. If you don't sell out every ticket to your event, it might not necessarily be because your event wasn't worth going to. People have things to do. Maybe it was a bad timing or whatever. So everything's a learning experience. So just it's been a struggle for me, just kind of through my career path of learning that, and being able to take that knowledge into the business and just say, it's not always about me. Like, don't be selfish. Don't internalize it. Don't just assume that whatever it was that happened, you caused it necessarily. Just be open about the situation, and really you just got to refocus. If you need that 5 minutes to be mad, but get over it.
Yes.
Like you have to move on. You can't dwell. Yeah. Just write it out, journal it, do what you got to do.
Absolutely. I 100% agree with that. It's so important that we acknowledge our feelings and then deal with them.
That's right.
It's so important because when you don't, all it's going to do is just fester on the inside, and then it's going to come out negatively in some type of way. If that's you blowing up on your husband, taking it out on your kids. I'm not a mom yet, but some of us who are moms out there may do that. So it's so important that we acknowledge our feelings, and deal with them, accordingly. Let's see what they say in the comments. PG says we sometimes live the life others create for us because of fear of loss of a paycheck, loss of a partner, loss of a position. But sometimes we got to be stronger and venture out. That is so true. Fear will paralyze the most strongest, buffest person on earth. Like, fear will paralyze that person and keep them stagnated and sitting in that same position. But what we have to realize and understand that all it takes is a small step. It doesn't have to be this big gigantic step that you have to take at one time. Even if you just take a whole bunch of just small steps, what you will notice is that you're moving. There's progress. We don't have to just come out of the gate just doing something fantabulous. Just those small steps. That's how we not necessarily eliminate fear altogether, because fear is going to always, it's going to always be around, but that's how we're able to, I guess, dance with fear, like Tony Robbins will say. You was about to say something, Leah?
I was just saying you have to embrace the fear. It's part of who you are. It's always going to be there. You just do your best to keep it from stopping you from doing things.
Yeah, absolutely. LaTrina says
today, I have a horrific fear of video, and I'm doing a live Instagram today. So,
girl, check you out, and you're doing an awesome job. Y'all give it up for, throw some emojis for Leah overcoming fear.
That's right.
Overcoming her fears. Let's see. LaTrina says you can. Let's see, live the life you want. You can live the life you want to be until you hit. Oh, you can't live the life you want until you hear. Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, healing, and then a part of your healing journey is forgiveness. Because depending on what it is that you've gone through, there's somebody that you need to forgive. And the most important person you need to forgive is yourself. Because a lot of times, it doesn't matter what trauma that you go through, at some point, we may blame ourselves, right? Because I know I did in my personal experience. I know I did. I should have did more. I should have did this. I should have did that. But I had to forgive myself. I also had to forgive my stepfather and my mom, in order for me to truly heal from that trauma and live the life that was designed, specifically for me, because healing is so important. And it doesn't have to be something as traumatic as, sexual abuse. It could be, healing from the trauma of your parents getting divorced, the trauma of being bullied as a kid.
Oh yeah.
I mean, just whatever it is, that has caused some type of mindset block for you in your life. Healing is, it's the best thing that you can do. Therapy, I absolutely, love therapy. I would recommend it for anybody. And I know therapy gets a bad name sometimes, but it's truly beneficial. It's truly beneficial. I'm just reading the comments to make sure there's no questions. We have to spend time with ourselves. That Ty said, you're absolutely right. I'm with you on that. I date me all the time. Yes. Yes, I had to do that all the time. Okay, so Leah, give us one piece of advice or a negative opinion that someone has given you or said to you that has, affected you in some type of way, whether or not it was positive or negative, that helped to shape who you are.
Well, mine's negative. I was bullied as a child, and it, I was told, oh, you're ugly. Nobody's ever going to like you. Nobody wants to be around you. And, you're 5 or 6 years old. That kills you. Yeah.
Yeah.
It continued on, throughout school. I mean, I didn't really have any close friends until high school. So,
oh, wow.
Growing up, I was always alone. So, as an adult, kind of learning how to build relationships and get out there in the workforce, and learning to communicate with people and interact with people in a positive way, and not assume that they were just not going to like whatever it was that I had to say, or think that it was a stupid idea. All of those kind of things. That haunted me for a very long time. From kids being mean, but you internalize it, and it becomes a part of who you are.
So, how did you heal from that?
Just what I think really started it was, finding some core friends, and we've been there for each other since we were 14 years old, and going through with the nonprofit, the administrative group that I was a part of, being on the board there, really finding a sense of purpose and surrounding myself with positive, uplifting people.
Yeah. That's so important as well, is, having a support system that loves you, right? That pours into you, but also to give you that constructive criticism as well. I have 4 best friends that I am fortunate to have, because for whatever reason, some people just don't have close friends, or may just have 1, but I'm blessed to have 4. And so, I don't know where I would be without them, because these are friends that I've been friends with for a long time. Like, one of my best friends, our mothers were best friends. So that tells you how long, we've been friends. But that support system is so crucial, guys. You have to pay attention to who you allow in your circle. You have to pay attention to that, and be okay with eliminating or distancing yourselves from people, and that includes family members as well. Yeah, 100% includes family members. Let me see. Any more comments? Latrina says, what a blessing. I'm glad you guys are, finding this really, 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 really helpful. I really appreciate the feedback, you guys. So, Leah, tell us, how hard was it to break into your industry, the industry that you're in? Like, was it really hard to break into it? Is it hard?
I guess I'm still breaking into it. My business is less than a year old, so getting out there and just really, having people know I'm here. And so I go to a lot of networking events. I'm starting to do events like this one, just to try to reach more people, get my message out there. I'm to do speaking events. I'm going to be on a podcast. It's just really letting people know I'm here. There are a lot of consultants out there, and each one of us does something a little different, and just trying to make sure that people understand what I do, and that I'm just available out there to be found, and there's so much that has to be learned from an advertising standpoint, from a social media standpoint, trying to figure out what networking events work really well, which ones don't, and then once you do find key people, nurturing those relationships and providing value. That way everybody's working together. So my career has lent very well to the background that I draw on to help my clients. It's just getting up there in the consulting space. Okay.
Awesome. Collabing is super important. Networking is super important. But, I've run into, and speak on this if you have too, Leah, I've ran into people who have a scarcity mindset, who don't necessarily want to, collab. And let me just say that nobody is obligated to work with me. Let me just say that. But when you are, not working with somebody because you think they're going to take money out of your pocket. You guys, we cannot have a scarcity mindset. There is enough prosperity for all of us out there. So collab with somebody, network with some people, invite somebody to do a live on your Instagram, because I think there's a lot of business owners out here. Like, work with other people, and then don't be afraid. Somebody reaches out to you, like, don't be afraid to work with that person. Like, you know, the Bible says, because I'm a believer, and the Bible says that there's nothing, absolutely nothing new up under the sun. There's nothing new. So it is okay for you to work with somebody else. Exactly, PG. There is enough. There is enough for everybody. But you know what? That also goes back to self-awareness and not knowing that, you know, not only is there enough in this world, but that you are enough. Right? You have everything that you need to succeed. It doesn't matter that, you know, you collaborating with Tina. Like, she cannot take away what's been, you know, already designated to you. Well, she can't take that away.
You know, a true collaboration, you know, you build off of each other's strengths. You know, I may not be the best social media advertising person, but I am really great at streamlining processes and getting things automated. So if I, collaborate with someone that does the social media and then I set everything up, you know, together we're a lot stronger. You know, but also just
absolutely,
even if I'm working with another strategic consultant or someone that does something similar to what I do, everybody's personality is different, and people may not like working with me, or they may not like working with someone else, vice versa. You know, I'm a very direct person. Some people don't take that very well, so they might like to work with someone that's a little less direct. And, then, okay, great. Then, I wasn't going to get that client anyway. So at least, someone that I know, that I respect, that, I know will do a good job, can at least benefit from that relationship. And, hopefully in the future, what you give out, you get back, right? So.
Right. Absolutely. LaTrinda says, listen, what God has purpose for you is for you. Amen to that. Amen to that. I agree with that 100%. P. Jean says, there are people who will resonate only with you or only with me or someone else. Again, this is all fear-based. You know what? You're absolutely right. Because what we have to realize is that we don't have the ability to be everything for everybody. So if, if my clients need something that I cannot provide them, then I am going to, refer Leah out. I'm going to refer TaKia out because she's, the self-care guru. Like, I'm going to refer them out. It's okay. That I don't want that pressure on me to be able to have to do everything and be everything for everybody. Like who wants that? I don't want to go deep into it, but there's somebody who already has taken that job and does it really well. Okay. So there's no need for us to have to do that. No North Korean style networking. Truth, Leah, Think and Grow Rich. Call that specialized knowledge. I started reading Think and Grow Rich a long time ago, and I never even finished the book. I'm gonna have to get back to it.
I haven't finished it either.
Don't judge me, y'all. Don't judge me. Okay, so Leah, you mentioned that you haven't been in your business for that long, almost.
Okay. I can hear you now.
Okay, good, because you pause for a second. So there you go.
All right, let's try this again.
Try this again. How do you create authentically?
For me, I have to take myself out of the equation. So working with my clients, it's all about what's going to make their businesses stronger, what's going to make them happier, make their customers happier, make their employees happier, to build their business. So I have to kind of take my thoughts and opinions about certain things out, because I have a different background and experience than they do. So to a certain extent, I can apply that. But at the same time, what I would do in my business is not necessarily the best thing for theirs. So I just have to back that out completely and kind of blank my mind out and just listen and really pinpoint what the real issues are and ask questions to dig deeper into that. Because once I can really get to the meat of the problem, what's really causing it, instead of the surface level things that are always buzzing around causing us trouble in our businesses, then I can actually, build a plan and a blueprint for, how to actually correct those things and move forward in my client's business.
Okay. Awesome. So how do you find harmony between life and business? Because you alluded to earlier that you have a son who's in high school or just graduated from high school.
Getting ready to start college. 2 weeks.
Yeah. 2 weeks. Wow.
It's hard. Honestly, my boyfriend has a really busy schedule, and he's getting ready to start his own business as well. So, and then I have my full-time business, and then, my son going to college, and then nurturing all these relationships and hanging out with my friends and still finding time to have fun, all those crazy things. I schedule everything. My calendar is color-coded. Some people would call it OCD. I just call it being organized. Everything. Like when I'm having breakfast, when I'm going to, read my news feed, like everything's in my calendar. If I don't do that, I miss things. And then I get stressed out, and then I worry about, I forgot to make that phone call, or I didn't read that article, or watch that tutorial, or, hop on somebody's MailChimp account and finish that email, whatever it is. I have a very, very full life. I go to all kinds of concerts, and we're always going out to different Jeep events and hanging out with our friends, and I play video games with my son, and you just have to put it on the calendar. There is no other way for me.
Yeah. I have a friend. Oh, and there's one of the besties. She's on there right now. Monique, I was just talking about you earlier. Talking about how our moms are best friends. So you see how you guys support you. You see how they support you? But I was talking to someone, because I'm not a mom yet, but I was talking to a friend of mine who says that she has a spreadsheet that she lives by. And on that spreadsheet, she put in time for herself on that spreadsheet, because she has 3 children. Yeah, because she said if she doesn't, then, she would get so, engulfed with everything that the kids are doing and what they have going on in the husband, that she actually puts time for herself on her spreadsheet. So, so no, I think that's wonderful that I don't think you OCD at all. There are other people out there who do the exact same thing. So, Leah, what are some of the myths that you would like to dispel as it relates to your particular industry?
I'd say the big one, like a lot of people, I hear in conversation, and, they don't know I'm a consultant yet. So I'm just kind of, before I've even introduced myself, and, they'll be like, oh, well, consultants are just in it for the money. They don't really care about your business, and I admit, there are some consultants out there like that, but they're not going to be where the bulk of what you're going to see. Consultants at heart, the good ones, are teachers. And teachers give a lot of themselves, and we love working with people who want to learn and who are willing to put in the time and actually apply the lessons, and try out the new technologies and work the new process and build the vision for what the company could be, what they want it to be.
Right.
The majority of consultants, we do really care about our clients. It's not just a money game. There are plenty of other ways that we could make money and not have to put as much of ourselves into the process as we do, working with our clients. So it bothers me when I hear that. And if I come across someone that I feel like falls into that negative category, I do my best to kind of quietly steer people away from that. That way they don't have to have that experience.
Yeah. Guys, you have to ask for help, and it's okay to ask for help. Black coaches have the same kind of rep a little bit. So the way I, overcome that is just by, like I say earlier, sharing my testimony, with my clients, so I can create that bond. But, you just really just have to just be who you are, because a lot of people that I talk to, I mean, they be like, oh, Keisha, I can feel the passion when you speak. So you really have to pay attention to people, because if you just sit back and you just let people talk, they'll tell you exactly who they are. But the problem is that you need to believe them, because people tell us who they really are, but we just tend not to believe them, and you really need to start believing them. So you have to just go with your gut, right? And if your gut is telling you this don't feel right, then you may need to take a beeline for it, but don't let that deter you from getting the help that you need, whether that's in your life or in your business.
That's right.
Get the help that you need. Me accepting help, because when I went through therapy, someone offered those sessions. Accepting that offer was like the best thing I could have did in my life. Without doing that, I probably wouldn't even be here doing this interview right now. So ask for help and get the help that you need, and don't be afraid to do that. So Leah, what's next for you and your brand?
Well, next for me is I am going to be launching a series of webinar trainings. I actually have a live webinar coming up for free on August 22nd. It's at 1 p.m. I'm going to teach you guys how to learn the basics of Evernote and how to actually use it to help structure and organize your business. I'm also working on a webinar series that will teach you how to build your strategic plan all the way up. So you don't have to have anything before you take this webinar, but it'll be over 7 weeks, and actually walk you through all the steps and all the pieces that are involved in doing that. That way, at the end of the 7 weeks, you will have a blueprint for moving your business forward and achieving your goals. And then over the next 6 to 12 months, I have several others that I'm planning. I just have to get all the training together. That way it's quality education for everyone.
Right. Do you have a link for your webinar? Because LaTrinda says that she loves webinars and she needs to tune in. By chance, do you have a link for, because that's next week, right?
It's on the 22nd. I have the link on my link tree in my bio on Instagram. It's there.
Okay.
And
what's your handle? So they can find you.
At Harrington Strategic Partners. Also, if you go to my website on the events page, it's there as well. It's harringtonstrategicpartners.com.
Harrington Strategic Partners.com. Just wanted to put it in there so you guys can get more information.
And it's free, so invite your friends, invite your network, come learn some different things on Evernote. It'll absolutely be worth it.
Everybody loves free 99, right?
That's right.
Everybody loves free 99. And just in case you're wondering, yes, I have signed up for the free webinar, so I will be there as well, getting my information on. Okay. So Leah, what's a favorite book? What's a book recommendation that you think every woman should read?
Ooh, that's a tough question. I didn't really share this earlier, but I managed a used bookstore for 11 years. So I know you can see some
a lot of books.
I have almost 2,000 books in my collection. This is back here. It's really, really hard, but I knew you were going to ask me this question. So a book that I recommend, and I picked this one because it's not one everybody's heard of. Deborah
Okay.
Condren wrote a book called Ambition is Not a Dirty Word.
Wait a minute. I gotta write that down. Ambition
is Not a Dirty Word by Deborah
is not
Condren.
a dirty word.
It's called a Woman's Guide to Earning Her Worth and Achieving Her Dreams. Now,
What?
it's an amazing, amazing book. What Deborah talks about in this book, and the former title was Ambitious, not Ambitious, but I think they censored her a little bit. But what she talked about in this book is understanding the constraints that society puts on us as women, society as a whole, our families, our husbands, our children, how people expect us to act in our careers and the choices that we make. And, it really, she just blows through all of the myths. Oh, well, you can't have it all. You can't have a high-powered career and love your job and be a good mom. Or, oh, well, you can't own your own business. What are you thinking about? Just play it safe and, stay in the, the admin pool or whatever. I mean, she goes through step.
Wow.
She shares stories of the different clients that she has worked with. These are women that, they're making 6 and 7 figures out there, living their truth, and going through and just getting rid of all the boxes and the rules and the regulations and getting out there and living their lives the way they want to. And I'd absolutely recommend that everybody read this book.
Wow. And what's Deborah's last name again?
Condren. It's Condren.
Okay. I gotta see if she has if her book is on Audible, because I definitely needs to listen to that book. I was listening to her interview. I can't remember, because I listen to so many I listen to podcasts and Audible books, all the time, that they're starting to run together. But I heard someone say that, no one can have it all. And I disagree with that statement, because having it all, I think, is means something different for everybody.
Yes.
Because truth be told, I think I have it all right now. I think I have it all. A great career. I have a husband that loves me, and some other accolades that I have, as well. So to me, I have it all. So at this point, everything else that comes after this is just pretty much the cherry on top.
That's it.
So, we need to define what success is for ourselves, right? So we can know whether or not we're being successful. Or like Latrina says, all is relative. It absolutely is, but, if we go, use someone else's definition of what that means, then no, you're not gonna have it all, because you're trying to live up to somebody else's expectations.
That's right.
Have your own expectations. So yeah, so this book, Ambition is Not a Dirty Word, I definitely have to find that book. Hopefully it's on Audible where I can actually listen to it, because that's how I maximize my time, is I listen to my books.
It does make things.
So yeah, so that's a question. Why Harrington for the business name? Because on Leah's last name is Torbert. So why did you choose Harrington for a business name?
Okay, so anybody that's seen my name in print, no one can spell it. So they can't, like, my mom spelled Leah with every vowel she could put in there, and Torbert is just, it just doesn't roll off the tongue. It's not an easy word to spell. So I knew right away that I did not want my name in the title. And then, of course, someday there's the hope that, I'm going to become a, gazillionaire and somebody will buy my business, right? And then they're, not going to want my name on it. So I really struggled, because I thought, a lot of businesses that I see starting out, they've got some kind of catchy little name, or they've got a jingle, and that just doesn't really suit me. And I was brainstorming with a good friend of mine one night over a glass of whiskey, and he's like,
whiskey, not wine, but a glass of whiskey.
No, whiskey. um, he's like, well, you read all the time. You love books. He's like, is there a character that you really identify with? And immediately, Honor Harrington came to mind. Honor Harrington is the lead character for a Space Odyssey series by David Weber. She's a space captain. She's hard as nails. Nobody gets anything by her. She never gives up. She gets what she wants every single time. She has morals and the high ground, and she's just like, if you could pick anybody you'd want to be, like, Honor Harrington is it. So that's where Harrington came from, because I really enjoyed the character. I can identify with her, and as a role model, even though she's completely fictitious, she's everything I would want to be. So
I did not know that. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, the nerd level is high in here.
M-Town says whiskey and coffee must be your truth. Is whiskey and coffee your truth?
That's it.
That is too funny. That is too funny. Okay, Leah. So complete this statement. My name is, and I walk in my truth by.
All right, hold on. I wrote this one down. My name is Leah Torbert, and I walk in my truth by refusing to accept limits, acknowledging that I am worth it, and that I have much to offer others to help them grow and become stronger.
Woo! Drop the mic.
That's right.
Just
done.
Drop the mic. Y'all gotta put some mic emojis in the comment section. You gotta say that again, Leah. Say that again. One more time.
My name is Leah Torbert, and I walk in my truth by refusing to accept limits, acknowledging that I am worth it, and that I have much to offer others to help them grow and become stronger.
I know that's right. We got those mic emojis coming through. People like, boo, that is. We can end it right there. So where can we connect with you across social media, Leah?
All right. So my website is harringtonstrategicpartners.com. Then you can follow me on Facebook and Instagram at Harrington Strategic Partners. And then on LinkedIn, it's just Leah Torbert, and then my company page, Harrington Strategic Partners.
Okay.
Try
awesome.
to keep it consistent and simple.
Yeah. Absolutely. Any final words of encouragement?
For the people that are out there that are wondering, what they need to do, and they feel overwhelmed by everything, and they, analysis paralysis and all that, just take one step, whatever it is. Call a friend, call a mentor, ask your boss at work if it's something that you need help with, whatever it is, just take that first step. It's the hardest one. You just have to get it started. Start moving in the right direction.
I 100% agree with that. And as your sister coach, everybody that's watching right now, as your sister coach, it is my job to get down in the trenches with you. So if you're somebody who needs help living in their truth, then contact me. That's what I'm here for, and if you're someone who needs help with, your business, contact Leah, because she's an organization expert. We went to her live webinar a couple of weeks ago, and it was so funny because actually with Sharita, she, leaned over to me and she was like, now you could tell Leah is the automation queen, because we the only ones over here writing stuff down, but she got all her stuff already together, organized and automated. Like, yeah, we need her. So definitely, ask for help, guys. Ask for help. That's why I'm here. That's why Leah's here. That's why I'm doing this interview series, to introduce you to, other women, who can share their stories, who you could possibly relate to. And guys, too. Guys, you're welcome here, too. So M-Town saying, thank you for being here. And also, as a thank you gift, you have to go to my page and click the link in my bio at A Sister's Truth here on Instagram, because I got a free gift for you. Just click on the link and click on free gift and get your free gift for joining me on tonight. I'm so excited, so happy that you guys joined me. Leah, Thank you so much for saying yes to this interview. I am so excited that I was able to help you overcome your fear of video. See, you guys, see, I'm always helping somebody out. See, I'm always helping somebody out. Oh, I love this. I so needed this. God definitely lined this up. Thank you, LaTrenda. Thank you for that. Thank you for that feedback. I really appreciate that. Because that's why, that's why we're here. It's all about sisterhood, and, brotherhood too, because I know there's a few good men that's on here as well. That's what it's all about. Just being there for one another and